Right, I think this is calm. This is just my proposals. I look homeless, so that's fun. The first one is my social media proposal. So and it's for McDonald's, if you were wondering, and Twitter. So the brand identity of McDonald's is synonymous with the yellow M surrounded by a red background. And due to this, the colours are associated with the brand. So every time you see yellow and red together, you think of McDonald's. So yeah, the adverts are intended to make you feel something rather than just explain what the product is. Because these adverts are mainly on TV, they're targeted for everyone. So my advert will be less vague, as it'll be for just one social media site. This will mean the branding is targeted towards more younger people, as they are the majority of Twitter users. The main brand message that McDonald's have used for years is the "I'm loving it" slogan. This helps suggest that the food is really being enjoyed by customers, and partner with the jingle they put on their adverts. It's now completely associated with the company. I plan to maintain this message to make the advert seem more realistic. I plan to add in other phrases and messages like make your 2021 a healthy one, or a piece of Great Britain from McDonald's. And these would just be specific to whichever advert I chose to do. Whereas the target audience of McDonald's is very vague, with people of all ages, genders and races enjoying the products, my advert is on a social media site where most of the users will be younger, so it will be kind of targeted more towards the 25 to 30-year-old region. But customers that are older will still be able to kind of associate with the adverts. It won't exclude them completely. In terms of the imaging used in previous McDonald's adverts, they've tried to make every aspect of the imaging red or yellow to stay in touch with brand identity. I will attempt to keep up with this trend whilst also adding new colours depending on the subject of the advert. So if it's healthy eating, I'll add in some green, so just to insinuate the presence of vegetables and that. So yeah. The unique selling point of McDonald's adverts has always been the specific jingle they have at the end of their adverts. With their own music playing while "I'm loving it" is kind of sung or kind of jingled, I don't know. This has become unique to the brand, and they now have their own song identified to them that no one else can use. I'll keep this jingle, but I'll also add a unique slogan that will mean that it's it's only identified with that particular advert rather than just every single one that there is. In terms of the cost of the advert, if it were to be produced professionally, actors, editing software and copyrighted music would be some of the things that would have to be paid for. All these added together would come to a decent sum, and that would mean that advertising via a short video clip would cost a lot. In my case, I'll be using friends or relatives as actors, using a free editing software from the college and non-copyrighted music, so it won't cost that much, or it will cost virtually nothing. I might have to purchase a McDonald's though, just to make the advert more realistic with a product in the advert. If I were to create this advert properly, the main regulation issue I'd have to consider is the copyright claims that could be done on my video. From the imaging used to a lot of the music is copyrighted, so if it were an actual brand representative attempting to make this advert, I'd have to pay for the rights to use certain imaging and music. But because this is obviously just a project, it shouldn't really be an issue. And if it is, that's kind of dry, yeah. With the magazine advertisement ideas, it's kind of the same with the brand identity, with the yellow M surrounded by a red background, and how the colours are now associated with that, and how every time you think of those colours together, it's identified with that brand. And it will also be targeted to the same age group, kind of, maybe a little bit older, 25 to 35 instead of 20 to 30, but this time it's predominantly women, meaning there'll be more feminine features in there. So yeah, maybe there'll be a different kind of identity portrayed to it. It will have the same brand message to help you know, I'm loving it, suggesting the food's being really enjoyed, but with it, you know, I'll make it seem just as personal with words like I'm. It kind of feels like it's you reading it out, like it feels personal towards you. But I'm also gonna be adding in like a phrase like cheap as chips for a cheaper eating campaign, because it has a bit of comedic value, because the magazine isn't like a serious magazine, so it doesn't need to be like really strict or anything. So yeah, the brand message should be fine with like cheap as chips, just like a little funny phrase like that. The target audience is very vague for McDonald's still, but it'll be more targeted towards mid to late 20 readers of the magazines, because that's the kind of age group it is. It's like old people might not read this certain magazine, so the older people might not understand the jokes or references, but I will try not to completely exclude the older and male readers, because a majority of the readers are female, kind of mid to late 20s, so most of the references will be targeted towards them. The imaging in McDonald's adverts is always red and yellow like before. I will attempt to keep this the same, but if I was to do like a seasonal special for the magazine advert, which I'm planning to do possibly for the New Year's, I would add in some like other colors with like fireworks in the image, just to like add a little bit extra to it. The unique selling points obviously the same, with the yellow and red combination with I'm loving it always there, but I will also incorporate some extra ones depending on the advert, as previously stated, as well as adding a new slogan on the advert. This is all the same as the last one. If it was to be produced professionally, then an editor and editing software would have to be paid for, as well as the possibility of actors like being shot, like not actually shot, but like their pictures being used in it, if there was to be a person in the advert. But I'll just be using friends and family if I use any people in there, and I've got a free editing software. And the main regulation issue I'd have is probably using the imaging and slogans on the advert. I should be fine to use them, as it's just a mock-up advert and I'm not using it to make money, but yeah, it should all be good.